Welcome to this tutorial on automating video creation for Etsy listings using Make.com. In this video, I'll walk you through a powerful automation workflow that can turn your Etsy listings into engaging videos for platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook Reels, and Instagram Reels, all with just a few simple steps. Here's the best part. You only need to enter the listing ID in an Airtable base, click a few buttons, and the automation will handle the rest. This means no more manual video editing or social media posting. This automation will save you time, help drive more traffic to your Etsy shop, and ultimately boost your sales by showcasing your products on multiple platforms. In this tutorial, we'll first take a look at the Airtable base, where you'll add your Etsy listing IDs. Then I'll guide you through each branch of the Make.com automation, explaining how each step contributes to creating, enhancing, and publishing your videos. By the end of this video, you'll have a fully functioning automation that creates professional videos from your Etsy listings and shares them across social media, helping you reach a larger audience effortlessly. Before we dive into entering the listing ID and image count, there are a few settings you'll need to customize to ensure the video looks just right. Head over to the settings area in Airtable, where you can adjust some key elements for the automation. First, set the scene duration. In my case, I've set it to 3 seconds, meaning each image will display with a 3-second animation. Next, upload your logo, preferably one with a transparent background to keep the video looking clean and professional. You can also customize each scene's button by changing the button text, color, and the font color for the button. This gives you flexibility to style the video to match your brand's look and feel. To get started, let's find a random product listing on Etsy so I can show you where to find the listing ID. I'm here on the Etsy website, and I'll just do a quick search to find a sample product. Let's click on one of these listings to open the product page. First, let's grab the listing ID and count the images in the Etsy listing. To find the listing ID, go to the URL at the top of the product page. The ID is the series of numbers right after listing in the URL. Copy this number as we'll use it in Airtable. While you're on the listing page, count the total number of images, including the main thumbnail. This count will help the automation create a video with the right number of scenes. Now, let's switch over to Airtable. Paste the listing ID in the designated column and enter the image count as well. This sets up the basic info for our automation to pull product details and adjust the video length based on image count. The final step to start the process is updating the status. In Airtable, change the status to 1, Generate Raw Video. Then, head over to Make.com and click Run Once to launch the automation. This will begin the workflow, with each branch completing the necessary steps to turn your listing into a polished video. Now let's head back to Airtable to check the final video. If you're not happy with the result, you can delete the video and rerun the process to make any adjustments. I hope you like the result so far. If you don't like the default JSON template, remember you can always create your own by generating new JSON code and pasting it into this step. At the end of this branch, the automation will update Airtable with a link to the completed video and record the video's duration. This duration is essential for the next steps, so having it stored here keeps everything on track and accurate for the rest of the automation. Now, let's move to the second branch, where we'll generate the voiceover script for the video using the title and description from the Etsy listing. It's important that the script matches the video's duration, which we recorded earlier. For this step, I'm using an OpenAI module to create the text. Before we start, go to Airtable, change the status to 2, Generate Voiceover Text, and then click Run Once in Make.com. This will generate the script and update the Airtable record. You can now go to Airtable to check if the generated voiceover script fits well with your video. If it's not quite right, you can easily recreate it, or if you prefer, you can write your own script directly in Airtable. Sometimes the voiceover might be longer than the video, so I recommend keeping the script as concise as possible. Now update the Airtable status to 3, Generate Audio. Then go back to Make.com and click Run Once. In the ElevenLabs module, you can also select either a male or female voice to suit your brand's style. This will generate the audio using the selected voice, then update Airtable with the audio link. Ready for the next step.
Transform your cherished memories into stunning custom pet portraits. Whether for birthdays, a thoughtful gesture, or times of loss, our hand-drawn watercolor paintings capture your pet's spirit perfectly. Enjoy quick turnaround times, unlimited revisions, and gorgeous prints on cotton paper. Choose from various pets and frames and we'll ensure you're delighted with the final artwork. Message us now to get started on your unique portrait.
For the fourth step, set the Airtable status to /merge video and audio. Then, head over to make.com and click Run Once to start this branch. In this step, the automation will combine the video and audio we generated earlier, creating a cohesive final product. Additionally, you have the option to customize the look of the captions in the adjacent video module. Adjusting the style, font, and color of the captions allows you to align them with your brand's look and feel, making the video feel more cohesive and professionally branded. Once everything is complete, Airtable will be updated with a link to the final video, ready for review and publishing. Now let me show you the final video. With the merged video, audio, and custom captions, this is the complete, ready-to-share result that aligns perfectly with your brand. Let's take a look.
Transform your cherished memories into stunning custom pet portraits. Whether for birthdays, a thoughtful gesture, or times of loss, our hand-drawn watercolor paintings capture your pet's spirit perfectly. Enjoy quick turnaround times, unlimited revisions, and gorgeous prints on cotton paper. Choose from various pets and frames and we'll ensure you're delighted with the final artwork. Message us now to get started on your unique portrait.
In this final step, set the Airtable status to 5, publish to social, and then go back to make.com to click Run Once. This branch begins by using OpenAI modules within Make to generate the YouTube title, description, and keywords, all based on the Etsy listing's title and description. These AI-generated details are crafted to optimize the video for search, making it easier for viewers to find and engage with your content on YouTube. Once everything is prepared, the automation uploads the video
Transform your
directly
cherished
to
memories
YouTube,
into
complete with all the information needed for effective promotion. Now, let's check out the video on my YouTube channel to see the final result live. You can download the JSON information from the first link in the video description. In the next steps, I'll show you everything step by step, including the Airtable setup and the complete make.com configuration. Let's dive in. To set up your Airtable base for this automation, you'll need two tables, one called Etsy Listings and Videos, and another called Settings. Each table helps organize and customize the workflow for generating your product videos. In the Etsy Listings and Videos table, start by adding a listing ID field as single-line text to store the unique ID of each Etsy listing. Next, create a status field set as a single select to track each stage of the process. For managing the image count, include a number of images field as a number. Then, add a raw video field as an attachment to store the initial generated video, and a video duration field, also a number, to record its length in seconds. For the audio component, add a Voiceover text field as long text to store the script, along with an audio field as an attachment to hold the Voiceover file. Lastly, include a final video field as an attachment for the completed video, and a YouTube URL field as a URL link to store the published video link. In the Settings table, start with a scene duration field as a number to set the timing for each scene in the video. Then, add a logo field as an attachment where you can upload your brand logo. To customize the video's appearance, add single-line text fields for button text to set the call to action text, button color to define the button's color, and font color to set the text color on the button. Let's start building our automation in make.com, beginning with an Airtable Search Records module. Here you can see my settings. I'll first select the correct base and table, ensuring the right data source. Under Output Fields, I'll make sure to select All, allowing us to pull all necessary data. Next, we'll add an Etsy Get a Listing module, where I'll map the listing ID from Airtable to retrieve specific listing details from Etsy. Then, we'll add another Search Records module from Airtable, this time selecting the same base but using the Settings table. Again, I'll select all output fields to make sure we capture all settings needed for the automation. Now, we'll use a Set Multiple Variables module in Make.com to organize the Etsy images, splitting them into separate variables. This step will help us in the next part, as we'll be referencing each image individually throughout the tutorial. With the data prepared, we'll split the automation into 5 branches using a router. From here, I'll add another router to create specific routes based on the number of images in each Etsy listing. If a listing has 5 images, it will follow the first route. For 6 images, it will go to the second route. 7 images will take the third route, and so on. The maximum number, 10 images, will follow the final route. This setup ensures that each video is tailored to the number of images available for that product, creating a smooth, customized flow for every listing. In this automation, we use filters to direct each route based on the Airtable status and image count, ensuring each step aligns with your selected settings. First, if the Airtable status is set to 1, Generate Raw Video, the automation will follow the first route. The filter here checks if the status is 1, directing it to create the raw video. Similarly, when the status is updated to 2, Generate Voiceover Text, it will follow the next route, and so on for each status, with specific filter settings guiding each step. In the first branch, which generates the raw video, additional filters are based on the image count. For example, if you've set the number of images to 5 in Airtable, the automation will follow the first route. If you set it to 10, it will go to the last route. Each route has its own filter to match the image count from Airtable. Let's look at the final route with 10 images. In the JSON 2 video module, select Create a Movie from JSON. Here, you'll paste the JSON code from your JSON 2 video template. After setting up your template, copy the JSON code from the top and paste it into the Make.com module. Then, map the necessary variables such as images, logo URL, and any other elements you want to customize. The next module is Wait for a Movie to Render, also from JSON2 video. In this module, map the project ID from the previous step to track the rendering process. Finally, use an Update a Record module in Airtable to save the final video details. Ensure you select the correct base and table and update the record ID. Set the status to 1-1- raw video generated to mark completion of this step. Also update the raw video column with the video URL from the JSON2 video module and add the video duration to Airtable. This keeps everything organized and ready for the next stage. Now let's move to the second branch, generating the voiceover text. Start by updating the status in Airtable to 2, Generate Voiceover Text. This triggers the automation to follow the second route, where we have an OpenAI module ready to generate the script. I'll pause here so you can copy the prompt I used in the OpenAI module. Feel free to pause the video and take note. You'll also see an assistant field included in the prompt. If you want to use it, please pause and copy that text as well. Once the script is generated, the next step is to update Airtable. Make sure to select the correct base and table, choose the right record ID, and update the status to 2, Voiceover Text Generated. In the Voiceover Text field, map the result from the OpenAI module to store the generated text. With these settings in place, your automation will now generate and save voiceover text seamlessly. After setting the status in Airtable to 3, Generate Audio, and running the automation, it will follow the third branch, Generating Audio. Here, we use an ElevenLabs Create Speech Synthesis module. You'll have several voice options. I'm using Roger for this demo, but you can select a female voice if it better fits your brand, especially for products aimed at women. I've chosen the ElevenLabs English voice, and in the text field, map the content from the voiceover text column in Airtable. The next step is to upload the audio to Google Drive to keep a copy. select your preferred location in Google Drive, and under File, choose the output file from ElevenLabs. Then, we'll add a Get a Share Link module for Google Drive. This allows us to create a shareable link for the audio file, which we'll use later. In this module, map the file ID from the previous step and set the role to Reader and the type to Anyone, so that anyone with the link can access it. Finally, update Airtable with the audio file. Make sure the correct base and table are selected, along with the record ID. Change the status to 3, Audio Generated, and in the audio field, add the web content link and file ID from the Google Drive module. This setup will complete the audio generation step, saving the file to Google Drive and linking it in Airtable for the next stages. In the fourth step, we'll merge our video and audio. First, update the status in Airtable to 4, Merge Video and Audio, which will send the automation down the fourth route. The process begins with a JSON2 video module, which is used to concatenate video with background audio. Here, select the output video resolution. I'm using a vertical format ideal for short videos. In Video Item 1 URL, map the raw video from Airtable, and for background audio, choose the audio file stored in Airtable. Next, add another JSON2 video module. Wait for a movie to render. This is simple. Just take the project ID from the previous step to track the rendering. After rendering, we'll add automatic subtitles using another JSON2 video module. Choose the rendered movie from the previous step and add the audio URL from Airtable. You can customize various settings, including font family, size, color, outline width, and position. I've shared my settings here, but feel free to adjust them to match your brand's style. Following this, add another Wait for a Movie to Render module from JSON2 Video, mapping the project ID from the previous subtitles module to monitor progress. Lastly, update the Airtable record. Ensure the correct base and table are selected, set the status to 4, Video and Audio Merged, and update the final video field with the video link from the previous step. For the file name, I use the project ID, but this part isn't critical. This completes the merge of video and audio, with captions that align with your branding, making the content ready for final review. In the final step, 5, Publish to Social. Make sure to set the correct status in Airtable. Once updated, the automation will follow this route using the filter in place. The first module we'll use is an HTTP Get a File module from Make.com. Here, we retrieve the final video URL from Airtable, as we'll need it shortly for the YouTube module. Next, we'll use 3 OpenAI modules to prepare the YouTube content. The first OpenAI module generates the YouTube title. Pause the video if you'd like to copy my prompt here. The second module writes the YouTube description, and again, feel free to pause and copy. The third, OpenAI module creates YouTube keywords. For this step, make sure to ask ChatGPT to provide keywords in a single, comma-separated list. Stick with 10 to 15 tags to prevent the automation from failing. Now for the YouTube Upload Video module. Here's how to set it up. Map the title from the OpenAI title module. For the video, select the file from the HTTP Get a File module. Choose your video category and the visibility status. I've set mine to unlisted, but you could select public. Map the description from the OpenAI description module. Map the tags from the OpenAI keywords module. You can also set additional options like recording date or license if needed. Finally, add an Update a Record module in Airtable. Make sure the base and table are correctly selected, update the record ID, and set the status to 5, Video Published. In the YouTube URL field, add the link format youtube.com/shorts/video ID, pulling the video ID from the YouTube Upload module. Thank you for following along with this tutorial. If you'd like to get this complete automation set up, You can download it from the first link in the description below. I truly appreciate all the support and the positive feedback I've received. Many of you have shared how much you enjoyed the previous automations, and it really means a lot to me. If you found this tutorial helpful, please consider leaving a comment or sharing it. Your feedback not only encourages me, but also helps others discover these tools. And if you have ideas for new automations or features you'd like to see, feel free to share them in the comments. I'll be selecting some of the top requests to feature in future videos. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to creating more time-saving tools with you.